It's FX6 cleaning day. Had to do this anyway. Figured I'd bring you guys along for the ride. Couple things right off the bat. When you're gonna do this, you just gotta make sure you do the obvious stuff. You gotta unplug your filter, number one. You also have to make sure you unplug your heaters if you're doing simultaneous water change. I'm doing a water change here with the Python no spill water change system, which is super cool. I'm actually running this all the way over to our work sink here in the studio, which you can do at your house as well. And that way you don't have to carry a bunch of buckets, especially with a big daddy like this. All right, step one is you want to drain this thing because it's really heavy. First things first, make sure this thing's straight up and down, and then you're going to loosen this red knob and you're going to take off this little plug right here. A little bit of water might come out, don't worry about it. If it does, that's why we have a towel. Water is going to come out of stuff as you do this, no matter how careful you are. All right. The Fluval FX6 comes with a tube that is supposed to go here. It's a little bit more rigid than what I'm holding in my hand right now, and it's not as long as this either. And the truth is, I like this better. It's a 3/4 inch silicone tube, fits over here just fine. You gotta kind of work it on there, and then once it's on there, you can slide it all the way up. So I can slide it all the way up just like that. I can even screw this on for a little bit of extra tightness. And the reason why I like it is because I can easily drop this into a bucket and leave it because it has the flexibility. I can, just go transfer back and forth. I've got enough room to just have it chill here on the floor, and I don't have to sit here and hold it the entire time. So this is something a little bit aftermarket. You can get it right here at BRSFreshwater.com. 3/4 inch silicone tubing. I prefer it. All right, once you do that, don't turn this on yet, because if you do, you will then just drain water from the tank through your filter into your buckets and change absolutely nothing. You want to disconnect it. To do that, you're going to first turn this big knob, which is the same thing as this big knob. Turn that off, and in the meantime, you could turn this off too. And then you're going to press in right here, similar to this, right? Press in right here and twist, and we're going to lift this off. And no water will drain from the tank into the filter because we have the knob turned. A little bit of water comes out. Don't let that surprise you or scare you. That's normal. You can set that aside. That's why you have a towel. There we go. We're going to take this one off. If you don't take both of these off, it will not siphon or run properly through your tubing. So make sure both of these are off. With that done, and we got this locked on, tube in the bucket, just turn this on and you'll watch the water start to drain out. All right, you'll know when it's done because it stops filling your bucket. Once that's done, make sure that before you do anything else, because I know you're gonna get excited to get into here, make sure you close this, open this up, take your tube off, and get your plug back on, like that. Make sure that plug's on there as far as it will go. You should be able to pull this out pretty easily. All right, next you just have to unscrew these. Try to do a couple at a time. The pro tip on unscrewing these is don't actually get them too loose, just enough to slide off, and then just let them drape here. Otherwise, sometimes you end up taking them off the whole thing. Like to try to open this a little bit carefully because usually there's water on the top. There we go. Just a little bit about how the FX6 works, all right? So the water is gonna go down here, right? Comes in here, and the water is going to fill around the outsides, and it's gonna go through this mechanical filtration that's in every tray on the outside. It then comes up and goes through your center trays downwards. So when you think about your media setup, make sure that you understand that the water flow is going down through this and then back up and out the tank. You can take all the trays out at once using these cool little handles. I like to tip them back and forth a little bit right here over the filter before I take them anywhere else because of all the stuff coming off of them. I wonder if does this fit in that bucket? That'd be sweet. Unsnap these like this, and they'll drop down, and we'll take tray 1, tray 2. Don't get caught up in tray 1, 2, and 3 too much during cleaning and freak out if you forget which one is which, because it really just matters how you put your media back together. All the trays are equal. So I've got my cylinders here, and these need to right away go inside tank water to make sure that that beneficial bacteria stays alive. And I'm going to use this tank water to rinse off some of my media. So that's the next step. When it comes to these sponges, I'm just giving them a squeeze. I'm really not trying to pressure wash these things. So you've got a lot of flexibility of what you can put in an FX6. These chambers are huge. Right now, we just have a pretty minimalistic setup, but I'm probably gonna need to come back in here and add some more. Go for it. Yep. Here we go. All right, with that Purigen all rinsed off, I'm just gonna set that right here. First thing I'm gonna do is actually take one of these little carbon pads. I'm gonna put this down here at the bottom. Can't put 2 of these red trays in each one of these, only one. So I am going to take out our biological media, put that there. That's gonna be our mid tray. I'm gonna take out the lava rock that was in there. I'm gonna put this tray in here, and I'm going to fill this with Purigen, like that. And we're just gonna start stacking. That's our last tray. This is our mid tray. This is our top tray. This is the first tray that the water is going to hit. And we're gonna put some of our new biofoam in here. Bumpy side up, because that's what the water hits first. Might be able to get one more in there. Cool. All right, then you're just gonna grab these little red guys and lock them in on the side. And as long as you hold straight up and don't pull out, you should be able to lift this straight up and drop it right back into the filter. If you're wondering if you need a towel when you're cleaning an FX6, well, there you go. All right, so we got all of our media back in here. We're going to get this top right back on like that. Make sure it feels like it's nice and snug. You'll know, because you won't be able to get these things on if it's not. Loosen them up a little bit if you have to. And we'll start closing this up. One of the things that I like to do is just close these up on opposite sides, just like putting a tire back on a car. Then I just go around one at a time and make sure that I've got these things fully tight. This is not something that you want to get wrong. One of the nice things with an FX6 is it is self-priming. So I'm gonna take this nice and light, easy to move, fairly empty with water, and I'm gonna get it back here under the tank. We're gonna plug our hoses in, and when we open up the valves, water is going to drain in from the tank and fill this thing up, so when we plug it in, it starts running. These just push down and snap on, and you'll hear a click, and you'll know that you're good to go. Once you do that, I'm going to open up the in valve. All right, once you plug it in, you're going to hear this thing kick on. You're going to hear the water running through it. You'll feel it starting to get a little bit heavier, and the self-siphoning is begun. So that burping is totally normal. And again, you're just letting this thing go. But if you first plug in an FX6 and you haven't gone through this, all of the starting and stopping and burping is gonna freak you out. So don't worry about it. As long as you had enough water in there to get the self-prime going, this thing's gonna take care of itself. You can start to clean up and walk away. Any amount of water that drained in, you can just start to refill, which is what I'm gonna do now.